Hello and welcome to another video. Today we are looking at a dev blog that has been released today, and there are 24 clues about some upcoming card reveals. Let's go and have a look at those. Some of them we have already seen the cards for, but some we haven't yet, and I'm really excited to see what those are. Now, I've had a quick look at those before recording this video, so I have my list and my assumptions, trying to do some research, but let's go through them for you. The first one, a legend that rewards you for rolling a 20. Now, there's not much to go off of this. We know that it wants to roll a 20, so probably a red legend, because red cares about max gig values and large gig values, and this one probably is red. Unfortunately, no other information. The second one is a legend that says defeat a rival unit. We've seen this one. That one's the red Atom Smasher legend. The next one is a unit with 7 power that can be played for as little as 1 eddy. Now this one's interesting. We have the blue Psycho Squad, which is a 4 cost and 6 power vanilla, so with no effect. So this one might be a 5 cost card. Two ideas that I have for what that could be is a 5 cost card that when played, you can discard up to 2 cards, and for each card discarded, the cost is reduced by 2. So if you discard 1 card, it costs 3. If you discard 2 cards, it only costs 1 eddy. The other idea would be that it costs 4, but the cost is reduced by 1 for each friendly face-up legend that you have. So it could cost 1, but you have to call your legends first, and so it gets better over time, and it's not OP in the early game, and you can't just play it for 1 in the first turn. Now, the next card is a card that gives your opponent a choice unless you have more street cred. Now, the unless you have more street cred part shows me that it's probably a red card as well, because red wants to have more street cred. The choices could be a lot of different things. It could be that the opponent has to discard cards, or something bad happens to them, or maybe you get to draw cards if they don't choose the other option. One card that I'm thinking of here from the Magic the Gathering card game is the heuristic study, where if the opponent does not pay mana, you get to draw a card if you control the heuristic study. So this one seems like a really interesting thing, and I'm excited to see what that one is. The next one is a program that can defeat any unit for only 3 eddies. We've seen this one, it's the new Cyber Psychosis. The unit, if it fights a unit or steals a gig, is defeated at the end of the turn. That can work with any unit, but it has to be a equipped unit. So maybe there is another one that costs 3 that works with any unit and not just any unit that has a gear on it. The next one is a unit that can gain up to 20 power when it attacks. Now, this one is also a card that we have seen, and it's the new Caliber. The new Caliber has the effect that when it attacks, we can choose a gig die that has its max value, and it gains power equal to that value. So if we choose RD20 and it is at max value, so at 20, the Caliber gets 20 power when it attacks. The next one is a certain Netrunner that can prevent your gigs from being stolen. We have seen Alt Cunningham and T-Bug, 2 of the Netrunners we know from 2077, and there is a couple more that we know. One is Bart Moss, but he's not alive at the time of 2077. And then there's also Somi and the Cassell twins. But both of those are Phantom Liberty characters, so we probably won't see them. Now, the one that I think we're going to have is Bugbear. She's relatively well known, and also the point where V meets her is right after she steals some equipment, and the Tiger Claws come along and they want to have it back. And because she doesn't want that, she flees into the net and stays there so she doesn't have to tell them where she stashed it. So she protects the stuff she stole, and in this sense, the Netrunner protects the gigs you have, so that feels relatively similar. Another Netrunner that we have seen the art for is Sasha Yakovleva, and maybe it's her, the card they are talking about here. I don't know. Let's see. The next one, a unit that can draw up to 12 cards when it's defeated. Now, this one is also one of the cards that we have seen, and it's the new Jackie Wells unit effect. When he is defeated, he draws a card for each, I think it's uneven gig die that you have. So if you had all 12 gig dice, you would draw to 12 cards, which is absurd, will probably never happen, but in theory, he can do that. The next one is a gear that lets you play any unit from the Welcome to Night City set in your trash for free. Now, what I find interesting here is that they mentioned the set name. So it looks like the gear can't do that with any unit, just one from this set. And one that comes to mind for me is there is a cyberware in the 2077 game, which is called Second Heart. And what it does when it's equipped, if your HP go to 0, it restores your HP to 100%, basically getting you back from the trash to fight once more. Of course, we haven't seen any art for this one yet, so that might be a different card, but that's the one I had to think of when I read this. The next one is a program that lets you sell an additional card for that turn. There's a card that has been revealed recently, and that's the Bootleg Black Sapphire Party or Show. And that one lets you sell the top card of your deck, and it also allows you to sell your normal card per turn, so that kind of does that. Of course, it doesn't let you sell an additional card per se, but it sells a card from the top of your deck. So this could, from the phrasing we have here, it could be a different card, but it could also be the probably the Sapphire Show. The next one is a program named after a main job that lets you play a gear you find for free. There is a card that has the art revealed. It's the Don't Fear the Reaper, and it's the name for the secret ending main quest. It also could make sense. There is a person on the art which is kind of geared up and connected to all these cables to some apparatus. Another one that could be this one is the Pyramid Song card. We've also seen the art for this one, and it's one of the main jobs for the Judy quest line, although it's not one of the main game quests. So maybe this one's not eligible here. The next one is a legend that can defeat itself from the legend zone to save another unit's life. Now, I don't remember any character saving V's life by giving theirs in the game. There's a couple characters that could work here, but none of them make too much sense. We have Takamura, he's a bodyguard, but we already have two versions of him. Then there's Jackie, maybe, or Victor, but he doesn't really, he doesn't risk his own life for V's, he just sits there and helps her or him. Then the next card is a program referencing a cult that defeats any unit. Now, the cult here is probably the Voodoo Boys that they're talking about. The program is probably the Synapse Burnout, which has the Voodoo Boys colors and layout. And it also makes sense that this one defeats any unit because it's on par with the Maman Brigitte and Placide bottom decking units. So why not have a program that does the same? Now the next one is a program that wants your fixer area to be empty. Now this one's an interesting effect because it basically means that the card can, if that's the requirement for playing it, only be played in the late game once all your geek dice have been rolled. This also means that it's probably some late game finisher or large program card that does a lot. Some all-out card. Two that I have to think of are maybe the Tower Fall or Memory Wipe. I don't know, but maybe this is more like part of the effect is that it helps you to get the fixer area emptied. So maybe you get to roll an additional fixer gig dice. I don't know. That would also be a very interesting thing and fact to switch up the rules a bit. Now, the next is a legend that lets you attack with the same unit twice in a turn. We've seen this one. It's Panam. Old and new effect both do this. So, yeah. Then we have a Met Tech unit that punishes your rival for controlling more gigs. Now, this one, there is the Trauma Team art. And if it says it punishes the opponent for controlling more gigs, that probably means that you want to have less gigs. So it could be a blue card, although we have the Emergency Atlas, which is a green card. And maybe the Trauma Team themed cards are green. So we're not sure about the color here yet, but it's probably Trauma Team. It could also be Nadia, thinking of it. She's also in that direction. Yeah. All right. Now, the next one is a unit that says at the end of your turn, ready up to 3 friendly units. We don't have any additional information on this one, and I actually have no idea which one that could be. Now, it could be the Augmented Negotiators or maybe Chromefang, but it's just because there's 3 people on it, and this one readies 3 friendly units. So I really don't know. The next one is an Epic Gear that directly defeats a rival unit every turn. Note that it says Epic, so it's a good and rare card. Now, the one that I'm thinking of is the Overwatch card. We've seen the art, and it makes sense for a silenced sniper rifle to take out 1 unit each turn. So I'm excited to see that one here on the list. Now the next one is a legend that gives units power when you play a brain dance. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the one. We got him. That is probably, or I'm sure this has to be the Judy card. At least one of the two legends. Because we have Judy Braindance Maestro, which is so on theme with what this effect does. Also, she is a braindance person. She knows everything around braindances and how to edit them. And so this is probably Judy. The next one is a legend with Go Solo and 0 power that will never let you down. Now, I know I've seen the reference, but unfortunately I haven't found anything on that. At first I thought maybe it's one of the fixers, but they would not go solo probably. Next one I thought of was Victor. He seems like somebody who's never letting V down, but I'm not sure if he would go solo either. Then I thought that Panam could be an option, or maybe Nomad V. We haven't seen Nomad V yet. So those could be an option, maybe a second Panam. But both Panam and Nomad V probably have more than 0 power if they go solo. So I'm not sure here. Maybe you guys have an idea. The next one is a card that lets you play the top card of your deck for free. And this one is, I'm thinking, could be Misty. She is like reading the future, looking into the future. That's her thing. And the top card of the deck is kind of like the future in card games. And so this could be definitely an effect that a Misty card has. And then 3 more to go. There's a gear that wants to be equipped to V. And we've seen this one. It's V's Pistol Dying Knight. When equipped to V after an attack, you get to ready 2 eddies. Then there's a card with both the Maelstrom tag and the Mox tag. And this one's probably Bonnie and Clyde. We've seen the art for this one. Not sure what the effect is though. And there doesn't seem to be any information on them on the Cyberpunk wiki. So interested to see what that card does. And for the last one, there is a card with a reminder text. You still pay its cost. And this one is the new Alt Cunningham effect, which has exactly that sentence at the bottom. Now, we went through those fairly fast. I'm excited to listen to your guys' feedback, what you guys think. Maybe you think you disagree on some of those. Maybe you found some additional information that I didn't. And so I want to listen to what you think these cards are. Which one of these is that we haven't seen yet is the card that you are excited for most? And please don't all type Judy, because we're all excited for Judy. Anyways, with that, I wish you guys a great week, and I'll see you around, Shoots.